obvious leadership qualities like being able to set a vision and then put the pieces together to execute against them, right? And those are critical factors that you need for any good leader. And I think the leader of the future is one that is a little bit more enlightened than what we've seen in the past. And this means that ethical decisions play a much bigger role in how we define success. I think that leadership is really going to be a lot more about what you're contributing to a culture and the positive impact that you're able to make. And I also think that leadership is going to be more distributed than it has been now. I don't think leadership will be as tied to the idea of power. So I think that we'll see more leaders with more influence and more of an idea of enlightenment than what we've seen. If I think about the future, leaders, I don't see a big difference in charisma today versus then. I really see it much more about accountability for sure, but the thing that I think is different is the ethical side. Yeah.
And it's so packed in here.
So ecosystem, I mean, if you look biologically, then symbiosis is obviously an important factor. And I hear a lot now about startup ecosystems and what's important. Why do things work in Silicon Valley and not work in other places? And I think it has a lot to do with this idea of symbiosis. You need to have, in the startup world, very driven entrepreneurs that are willing to take risks and encouraged. But then obviously you need investors that are willing to fund at that same level of risk and boldness. And then obviously you need mentors that are not mentors just in name, but actually spend the time to share knowledge and share insights and give feedback. You need academics and universities as part of that ecosystem. You need partners and clients and customers as part of that ecosystem. And then, of course, no matter what you're building, you need the user, whoever that user is going to be, as the center of the ecosystem. So it's just a matter of making sure all of those pieces are there, understanding which ones are missing, and being very proactive about trying to have diversity and the kinds of people that are building something, and making sure that there's enough difference of opinion, difference of skill to really pull something off that's going to be big. So I think it's the rare environment where it could work, and I actually think that Menorca is a perfect place to run this type of experiment or to optimize for bringing different kinds of people and skills together. Because for me, it's a place that obviously feels inspiring in its own right. And it's also a place where you're going to be able to focus. For me, Menorca Millennials, and specifically about doing this in Menorca, is about clearing off all of your distractions and being able to truly focus with a group of people who have diverse skills, that have incredible talent, that have already proven themselves in some way. Bring all of these people together without distraction, and I think that beautiful things will come. So the combination of lack of distraction, the ability to focus, which is, I think, the number one success factor for any startup, as well as that diversity, are the two key things. I spend a lot of time with accelerators and incubators and startups, and I'm at the point right now where I find it almost cliche, right? Everybody's got an accelerator, but there's not a lot of real optimization, taking what we've all learned before as an industry and applying it to something. And I think that Menorca Millennials has a real shot at providing true value because A, of the focus. I think a lot of accelerators are just bombarding you with famous people who've done things, and it's not serious and it doesn't have that much depth, and I think that's what's unique about this program. I also really like the second-time entrepreneur thing because the people coming in have already had successes and failures, both required for being able to, I think, push yourself to the next level. Also the caliber of the people that started this. I've known Ricard, for example, since he was in Silicon Valley, and I have a lot of faith in what he's going to be able to pull off and his tenacity to make it great. So I feel very optimistic about it.
Great. Double penny whistle track.